Hi everyone, Austin here again. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the K&F Concept Alpha 25-liter backpack. In my opinion, this is the best overall everyday carry as well as photography backpack that I have personally seen. And it's so well designed that it actually won the Red Dot Award for Best Camera Bag in 2023. And yeah, you'll see soon how many features it has and just overall how well designed this bag is. But let's start with the appearance. I like that it has multiple different materials here. I kind of like this carbon fiber look. I don't know, it just looks kind of modern to me, and I think it looks pretty unique in its own way. It has nice materials here at the front and just generally a nice design. I do like that it has a reflective strip here, which helps with visibility at night. So again, you don't get ran over if you're riding your bike at night or walking near the road or something like that. Okay, this is how it looks with the included rain cover. Pretty simple. And this is how it looks when it's worn. For reference, I'm 5 feet 11 inches or about 180 centimeters and 175 pounds or about 80 kilograms. So let's move on to the dimensions of the bag and how much it weighs. It does weigh a hefty 2.1 kilograms, which is about 4.5 pounds. Most bags, I feel like in this size would be maybe 2 to 3 pounds. 2 would be on the lighter side. 4 is a little bit hefty, but I think it makes sense given how much stuff and how much organizational features there are inside this bag. And so, I don't dock too many points because it's a little heavier. In terms of the external dimensions of the bag, on the website it's listed as 30 by 24 by 45 centimeters or 12 by 9 by 17.5 inches. With the bag unpacked, my measurements were a little bit smaller than the measurements on the website. However, I think if the bag was fully packed, it would probably be a little bit closer to the website's measurements. Nevertheless, these dimensions are well within the personal item size requirements for most major airlines in the US. However, some airlines do have different requirements and sometimes the requirements change. It's usually good to double check before booking a flight. Okay, let's move on to the materials of the backpack. Overall, K&F is pretty vague in terms of what materials they're using here. It says something about 840D, and if you scroll down later it says polyester. So 840D is usually used for nylon, and nylon 840D, 840 dinner is essentially the weight of each fiber. So a higher dinner would be a bit of a coarser, like a little bit thicker material. Now I would say that this is kind of a thick material here, and it does feel pretty resistant to scratches. And then we also have a different material here. Overall, I see about 5 to 7 different types of materials on this bag. And they all seem pretty resilient to me, honestly. And also on the bottom here, we have kind of a waterproof type of material. Again, feels pretty resilient. And let's see. Oh yeah, the structure of the bag, like I said, it's pretty much like a shell. So if you have any expensive camera gear inside of here and something comes up and hits your bag, it's going to kind of indent like that, but it does have like a plastic shell, I would say, inside of the bag. You can't really, you can't see the shell, but you can feel it, right? And then you can just pull that back out after you get done getting hit by whatever is hitting you. So overall, I think a very protective bag for any kind of expensive equipment you might have inside. We'll do the waterproof test later and show that it is a pretty water resistant bag as well. So speaking of such, the zippers do have the TPU laminate or PU laminate on the zippers, which does prevent water from going through. Very nice. I love that on a backpack because so many backpacks prior to this day and age did not have this coating, and water would just flow right through. So good design on that regard. And then speaking of the zippers, they do have lockable zippers here. So they have these little snaps here where you can put the zipper inside and then snap it down. And now if someone's going to try to steal your stuff, say you're walking through the airport or in some public space, they're gonna have a hard time unzipping this without you knowing. You know, if you're walking along and you hear, you're gonna know that something's going on, right? Like someone's stealing your stuff. So good design there. They don't have them everywhere. So like here on the side, they don't have that, but I feel like if someone's going to steal stuff from the side of the bag, it's going to be kind of hard because this is right next to your shoulder anyway. But having said that, they don't have those little locking things everywhere. They do have them down here, so you can also do it here, which is another easy place. If you didn't have this, someone may be able to easily open that and then steal things. But because they do have another locker here, that does help. So there's that. Okay, and then regarding the external features, they do have really nice water bottle pockets here that have a magnetic closing mechanism, which is really nice. So you don't always have this hanging out when you're walking around. It closes and then it's real nice and flush against the side of the bag. They're also pretty big. These pockets can hold, you know, this 1 liter bottle I have here pretty well. And, you know, it's snug. This is a full bottle, so I don't want to shake it too hard. It might fall out, but, you know, you can see it's still in there pretty well. I feel like you can run with this bag if you want to, and, you know, your bottle is not going to come out of there, which is nice. You can also, as I'm sure you know, if you're a photographer, you can put in your, you know, your tripod there. And the other nice thing is that they do have tie downs, right? They have a strap system. And so they make it kind of nice here where you can strap around on the back like this. And then they have another lash point right here. And then you can just tighten that down and maybe tuck away the excess material. And they do have the little strap dangle stopper here so that you don't have this flapping around so much, which is nice. But yeah, so if you want that extra security, you can do that, you know, strap your tripod down so it doesn't wobble around a lot. And then it should be pretty stable in there. And okay, take that off. Some people have complained that these are hard to take on and off, but I don't see it. I mean, it's that seems pretty simple and easy to me. You know, it's pretty straightforward. So I don't know why some people were complaining about that. I guess it's a personal preference thing, but to me, that's not a problem. All right. So they have these lash points all over the bag. I showed you this one already. They also have lash points down here and all the way down here on the bottom of the bag as well. So if you want to strap something down here on the bottom or on the front, you can do that. And let me just give you an example real quick. So we'll start out by strapping this one across here. Okay. And then do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And then imagine, you know, you have a blanket or a sleeping bag. And you can just roll this up. Put it inside here. like that, and then strap these down. And then, you know, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you have your sleeping bag there, and it's not going anywhere. So I like that versatility. It allows you to take this bag if you want to go camping or hiking, or if you just generally want to carry a lot of stuff around with you. You can also put maybe like a tent or something on the bottom here. Or if you like to ride your bike to work, for instance, or want to ride your bike with this bag, you can put your helmet back here when you want to stow it away. Just really nice to have that flexibility. And then the handles here are decent. Not the very best thing I've seen, but they get the job done. I'm not really that picky anyway. I feel like they feel good enough for me. I don't need something super squishy and, you know, nothing too bougie. So nice to have handles on the top and the side. So, you know, if you wanted to grab this bag out somewhere from the side, you can do that. I usually just use the top one, but it doesn't hurt to have an extra handle there. Now, regarding the side pockets, we do have 2 side pockets here. Pretty easy to access. They are laid out a little bit differently. So this right side pocket has 4 small pockets where you might want to put something like a small camera battery, for instance. So you can open this up, put that in there. And the nice thing about this is that it has this little cover, or this little tab that covers over the entrance to the pocket. So if for some reason you accidentally tip your bag upside down, your batteries don't come out. That's pretty nice. But then you can still easily access those batteries. And you could probably put other things in here too. I don't know, a little thing of Tic Tacs or something. They also have these compression straps down here. And I think this would be a good place to put maybe a camera lens cover, or maybe another charging cable or something a little bit larger. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this side. Moving on to the other side pocket, we have pretty much the same look until you open up this zipper. And then once you get into that, you see that this side has 2 mesh pockets. And these are pretty decent size. So I would put maybe a portable charger or a camera light, maybe a microphone, something like that. So pretty simple on this side, 2 nice mesh pockets there. Okay, and then that's pretty much it for the side pockets. So maybe one small complaint I have about this is that the zippers do get stuck sometimes, but I think to me, that's a trade-off I'm willing to have because I really appreciate the waterproof coating on these zippers. All right, so then we'll move up here to the top pocket, or the top compartment. So this is an interesting beast. Upon initial inspection here, you have a zippered mesh pocket up at the top, and then 2 mesh pockets down here. You know, be creative with what you want to put in there. Maybe a mouse or something like that. You know, an electronic mouse, not a live one. And then one interesting thing about this is that you can actually adjust this lower section here. So this is completely adjustable. You can pull, for instance, one side up. It is a little bit tricky to get this to work, but let's see if I can do it here. All right, so you can pull like one side up like that. I don't know if you can see that well. And essentially, you're giving yourself more space in the main compartment, which I'll show you in a second. You're giving yourself more space in the main compartment in that little section, but then you're also allowing yourself to put something else over here and have a little bit of extra space on this side of the top compartment. So that's kind of nice if you have a smaller camera you want to put up here, and then maybe in the main compartment you want to put like a tripod or something else that's a little bit taller or a little bit longer, then you can make this side a little bit longer to accommodate that longer item. Nice little feature to have, but I like to just push this all the way down and have as much space as I can in that top compartment. And then one more feature. I told you this bag has a lot of features. It's crazy what they've thought of with this. Is this thing Velcros on here. Velcros down, but this top compartment, oh, I know why, because I have this flipped inside out. There we go. This top compartment actually expands. So you can pull this, again, carbon fiber looking material. It's not carbon fiber, but looks like it. You can pull this down and then you have another zipper here on the inside, also waterproof. And then you can pull this up and you have about 1.5 more liters of space. Or on their website, they say 5 cans of Coke. Like, I guess you can fit 5 more cans of Coke up here. I'm not sure why they use that as their volume measurement, but 5 cans of Coke is about 1.5 more liters. So total you could have 27.5 liters with this bag, which is plenty for an everyday carry bag in my opinion. And then to put this back away, you would just simply Velcro this back up here on the top like this and then tuck this in, and then you can just close it like normal. And there you go. Okay, so let's move on to the main compartment. You have plenty of space there, and you can hear the things clacking up here. That was a good example of how they can be a little bit annoying, but just close those down, no big deal. All right, plenty of space there, and let me show you the dividers that they provide. They give us 3 dividers. Here are the dividers that K&F Concept provide. So pretty simple. You just have Velcro along the bottoms here and then along one side, or both sides, but no Velcro on this side. So if you want to put your gear on this side, you can do that, right? Without having the worry of having some rough surface contacting your gear. So let me show you one kind of setup that you can use with these dividers. Okay, and so this is using 2 of their provided dividers here. So I put in one here so you could put a larger item on this side, maybe your camera with an attached lens. Another section over here where you could put just maybe a single lens, maybe another lens down here. I'll show you from this side too. So you can still access your things very easily from the sides, which is very nice. And it takes a little bit of work to get these laid out the way you want. I probably took maybe 5 to 10 minutes putting these together and getting them to be situated the way I wanted. But I think it's worth it in the fact that you can make this as you want, or make this layout most efficient for you. And so I really do like that ability to customize, because we're all a little bit different. We all want things set up in a little bit of a different way. So this is a nice adaptable way to set up your bag. Okay, that's it for the main storage compartments. Now we can move on to the laptop compartment. And this does open all the way out, which is nice. Nice clamshell opening here. We'll start over here. We have a really nice big mesh pocket here. You can put your charging cables here, or maybe a notebook, something like that. And then one of my favorite things about this bag is this laptop compartment here. So you notice it has the hook and loop closure here. It also has padding on all sides a false bottom down here and padding on this side too. And then with the hook and loop closure, it's also pretty much padded at the top. So no matter how you drop this bag, if you drop it on the side, the bottom, anywhere, right? Your laptop has nice padding on all sides, so it's less likely it's gonna get damaged no matter how the bag drops. And then you also have a nice tablet sleeve here. Again, padded on all sides except for the top on this one. So your tablet would be slightly less safe, but generally still much safer than most other bags that I've seen. So let me show you my laptop here. It fits in pretty nicely there. Goes pretty much down to the bottom. It's a 15-inch laptop, so it fits in there pretty nicely. I'm sure this can fit up to a 16-inch. They say 15.6 inches online, but usually when they say that, it's usually compatible with a 16-inch MacBook, for instance, as well. So great design in terms of laptop and tablet storage. And of course, the water-resistant zippers again. Okay, now moving on to the back of the bag here. We have a nice back panel here, pretty well padded. And I like that they have this kind of mesh-like material. It has a honeycomb structure in here. Looks a little bit like a beehive, but I think it looks good though, and I think it provides really good padding and breathability, something that I've been looking for on a lot of backpacks, and they usually do a decent job, but I think this does a pretty good job. If you had a lot of weight in this backpack and you're trekking across the desert or something, it's going to be pretty breathable compared to most other bags. There's also a luggage pass-through right here. It's got a Velcro or hook and loop closure. I don't know if you can see it from here, but pretty big luggage pass-through. Should have no problems fitting your luggage handle through there. And then I actually just found this. I was really surprised. I didn't even know this is here. It has a little hidden pocket back here. So I don't know if you would want to put something, maybe your passport or something in there, something that's a little bit more, a little bit more sensitive. You can put that in there. And then regarding the shoulder straps, very nice padding on the shoulder straps. Kind of a nice design. I feel like it's pretty flexible and still pretty resilient in terms of the material. I don't think this will be wearing out anytime soon. And I do like that these shoulder straps do have this hinge mechanism. So if you have wider shoulders, you can hinge it out more. It just naturally does it when you're wearing it. Or if you have narrow shoulders, it can come in to fit your body a little bit better. All right, I'll go ahead and put it on now and show you some features of the harness system, as well as kind of the fit of the backpack. So let's start with the sternum strap. It's nice because it has these detachable buckle type system here. So you can just latch this in if you're not wanting to use it, or you can completely take it off if you want to. Or you can, of course, use it as it's meant to be used. And you have multiple spots that you can latch it onto and then tighten it down. And of course, always nice to see it does have the dangle stopper, so this doesn't flap around. I'll just show you real quick. Without it, it's hanging and dangling here like this. I just don't like that. It looks messy, So nice to have that. And I've been wearing this backpack for a while now, but I'm still very happy with the straps, the shoulder straps. They're really comfortable. They do have a nice width to them, which helps to distribute the weight over a wider surface area on your shoulders. It also has a nice, decently thick padding that, again, makes it nicer if you're carrying heavy loads. Like right now I have about 20 pounds in the backpack and it feels pretty comfortable. The padding on the back itself is also pretty decent, and I've never really gotten, well, I'd say it's been pretty good at keeping my back cool. The airflow seems to be good in terms of, you know, keeping my back cool and kind of dry in warmer weather. And, you know, you have some lash points here if you want to put carabiners or whatever you want to strap here to the shoulder straps. Some good features there. They do have the dangle stoppers for these straps here as well. Again, really nice. I hate to see this, you know, I hate having this when I'm walking along. It's like the most annoying thing ever. So when you can just strap those back a little bit and keep them out of the way when you're walking, that's nice. So good bonus there. They also have these kind of quick adjustment loops. So if you just want to, like, you know, loosen that up really fast, you can. Very easy to adjust, and they stay tight. The shoulder straps don't loosen up either, so you know, you don't have to worry about them coming loose as you're walking or hiking. And speaking of that, this harness system is really nice. You can, you know, really tighten it down a lot if you want to. And then for me, for instance, I like to kind of run, or, you know, sometimes I want to run somewhere. If I'm like traveling and I want to get across town faster, I don't really want to walk the whole way, so I'm going to, you know, kind of run. And with some backpacks, that's kind of impossible. There's a lot of bouncing around, but, you know, with this one, you can run, you know, and maybe someone's chasing you trying to steal your cash or something, you know, they're trying to mug you, and you can, I feel like you can really get some good speed going with this without it bouncing around and getting out of control. So another bonus there. Another interesting feature of this bag is you can actually detach these shoulder straps. They have clips at the top and bottom where you can just detach these real quick like that. And then if you want to, you can turn this into a crossbody bag by just using one strap like that. And I'll loosen this up a little bit. And then I can just put this on like this. Oops. And then it's actually pretty comfortable. I've never really used a crossbody bag before. I've never really used this one that much as a crossbody, but maybe I will. I mean, I actually don't do a lot of photography either. I don't have like a camera or anything, but I can see this being pretty useful. Yeah, I'll loosen this up a little bit more. If you wanted to just like have quick access to something, you know, like you want to open up the side pocket like this. It's a lot easier when you have it crossbody because you can just, you know, you just flip it around and there you go. You can also tighten this up too, and like I said, it's pretty comfortable because these straps are so cushioned and so conforming to your body. And you can probably, you know, again, you can still run with this thing. It's still pretty stable, I would say. And it's still pretty comfortable even with one strap. Now, having said that, if you are going for a really long hike or any other long adventure where you're going to have this on for a long time, I would bring the other strap just to, you know, have a backup so that if your shoulder gets tired, you can put the other one on and have both straps for a little bit more stability. And then finally, if you want to just take all the straps off, maybe you're putting this in the overhead bin in the airplane, for instance, and you just want to take the straps completely off, and maybe you want to, you know, stuff them inside the bag or something. You can do that, and then you just have a really nice streamlined backpack, you know, where you can just put this in the overhead bin without all the straps hanging out and everything. So awesome. Okay, let's go do a water resistance test. Okay, a water resistance test of the K&F Concept Alpha 25-liter backpack. First with the rain cover and then without. Here we go. All right, so you can see the water's beating up pretty well on the rain cover here. And taking the cover off. A little bit of water on the outside here, but I think that's from me taking it off actually. There's a bead of water that ran through, but for the most part, it kept the bag pretty dry. Okay, now let's try it without the rain cover. Now I recognize that you're never going to be in rain that is that powerful. So this is a very extreme test. But you can really see the performance at the extremes. So that's what we're doing today. So let's see how the laptop compartment looks first, since it's probably the most important. You wouldn't want your laptop getting wet. But you also don't want your camera gear getting wet, but let's see. Just open it all the way up here. Okay. Very slight amount of water here at the entrance. You can see some drops here, but overall that's pretty good. A little bit of water down here. I think it probably, when this is closed, I think the water probably gets in here a little bit around the edges. But for the most part, the laptop compartment, these little spots are for my fingers, by the way, but the laptop compartment is completely dry. So I'd say it performed pretty well. And like I said, these are pretty extreme tests that we do in terms of the water resistance tests. So I think in general rain, it should be fine even without the rain cover. But I guess if you're in an extended downpour for a long period of time, you might want to use the rain cover. Let's take a look at the top compartment now. Oops. Okay, so it is a little bit wet in there. Yeah, a little bit of water got in there, yeah. I don't know if you can see that well or not. So it's not perfect, that's for sure. Have a little bit of room for improvement there, but still not terrible. I've definitely seen worse. If you've watched our other backpack reviews, you know what I mean. I think it was the North Face Base Camp Voyager backpack that didn't do so well. But it's a good pack in its own way. It's just not, that specific backpack isn't super water resistant. So here's a side pocket, a little bit of water at the top. Not terrible. So I'd give this a higher score for sure in terms of water resistance. Like I said, I've definitely seen worse. I've seen a little bit better. For instance, with the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, it performed very well, but you can see that review on my channel as well. But overall, I think this definitely gets a pass in my opinion. So what do you think of the K&F Concept Alpha 25-liter backpack? Let us know what you think in the comments. We're really interested to see what you have to say. And if you do decide to buy the backpack, please use the link in the description, because this not only helps to ensure you get the best price for the backpack, but it also helps to support our channel so we can make more content like this for viewers like you. And if you found this review helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on new content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay healthy.